Hello and welcome to episode 40, oh, almost said 40, 84 of Out of State DMing. I'm your host, lluksblackheart, and able to join me today are both my lovely co-host, LadyCelt and Bacon.
Up, fuckers.
uh, Today we're going to be starting with the long collection of cure spells. These spells are all technically highly similar, so we're going to be able to cut through each one relatively quickly, with the only real difference being level, amount of healing, and whether or not you can hit multiple targets with it. And it starts off strong with Cure Critical Wounds, Conjuration Healing. This is a 4th level Bard, Cleric, 5th level Druid, 4th level Healing Domain. Uh, Description: this spell functions like Cure Light Wounds, except that it heals 4 die 8 points of damage with a +1 per caster level to a maximum of 20. So you can heal a ridiculously amount of HP with this spell. Because even at minimum, it's a decent amount.
Yeah.
And it's one of the bigger healing spells outside of the spell heal itself. Not to mention, clerics get to spontaneously cast all of the cure spells. So it's like, they don't even have to prep it. They just go, I'm burning a 4th level spell to do cure critical. Yeah. And then the very next spell is the mass version of it, which is an 8th level cleric spell, 8th level healing domain spell, and a 9th level druid spell. It functions just like normal cure critical, with two variants. One, it works on a number of creatures equal to your caster level, which by that point is going to be a lot. And two, the maximum is +40 instead of +20. So your amount of healing is a lot higher. So once you get access to those level spells, you have those shenanigans of everyone gets healed. Hi, Nova. Dancing dinosaur time. I'm gonna start doing that now.
You gotta walk the dinosaur.
Yeah. So
Came
it's
out.
still pretty simple. It's pretty simple. You just have to wait a long time to be able to cast it, because that's at least a it's like an 17 or 18th level caster to be able to actually start casting those spells. Well, the mass version. The next one is the actual baseline cure spell, Cure Light Wounds, which is the base fundamentation for everything. Like, it's a conjuration healing spell. It's a 1st level bard, cleric, druid, healing domain, paladin, and 2nd level ranger spell. So there's a lot of ways to get access to this spell. Verbal semantic, which saves a lot of people. This means you don't have to hold a holy symbol or spend a lot of money to use it. Casting time is standard, so it's just one action, so you can move up and slap someone with it. Range, touch. Target, creature touched. Duration, instantaneous. Saving throw, will half, harmless, see text. Spell resistance, yes, harmless, see text. And this is important, as this is where it's going to get into the real actual description for it. And its description is, when laying your hands upon a living creature, you channel positive energy that cures 1 die 8 points of damage, additional +1 point per cast level to a maximum +5. With the actual additive of, since undead are powered by negative energy, this spell deals damage to them instead of curing their wounds. An undead creature can apply spell resistance and can attempt a will saving throw for half. So for those playing at home, cure spells are a very good, easy way to weaken undead. Because again, you're taking a
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna heal you spell, and you're gonna slap the zombie, the skeleton, the vampire, the lich with its counter, which is their negative energy. You're hitting them with positive. But unlike everyone else who may have a spell resistance or may not want you to heal them, because they are not undead, they are not entitled to the will saving throw nor the spell resistance check. Because they're not undead. But it is still a very potent spell because 1, you get at level 1. 2, at absolute minimum, it's somewhere between 2 to 9 hit points heal. And 3, it's good against undead. You just have to touch them. The next cure spell is the Mass Cure Light Wounds, which functions just like the base one, except instead of having a max of +5, it's max of 25. So even though it's still a die 8, you can have up to a 25 bonus applied to it, which is still a lot. Especially because it's a 5th level Bard Cleric Healing Domain, 6th level Druid spell. So you get it a lot sooner than a lot of the other mass ones. And the number of targets you can affect with it is 1 creature level, which 2 of which can be more than 30 feet apart. That's important because it's a close range spell. Meaning instead of walking up and touching someone, you are literally going, hey, if I'm getting coffee and all of a sudden coughing fit. It's everyone within its effective range, which 2 of which can be more than 30 feet apart. So as long as if everyone's 15 feet of one another, you can heal a grand lot of people or an entire group of undead. So it's still, even though you're not healing as much as a lot of things, you're healing a large amount of people or harming a large amount of undead. So hands down, a better version than the normal Cure Light. Once you get into mass spells, you don't need to prep the spell as much. Just like when we talked about like mass bull strength and that, it's better to cast to prep the mass version than the non-mass version, because the non-mass version, it takes up a spell slot per time you prep it. This is, once you get to a high enough level, you don't care about prepping it more than once, because you're like, hey, I get to heal everyone. It's only if you are guaranteed that everyone's going to need a lot of healing, like someone recklessly casting fireballs every 5 seconds because they want to kill the enemy that's in the room.
Wow, that had an accusatory tone to it.
It worked, didn't it?
Yes.
Yes, I'm thinking of the Punky Doodle song now.
As long as it worked, that's the important part.
Well, I probably said this in the past, and I'll probably say it again. Out of all the people who go, I don't care how big the room is, I cast Fireball, I've had least player death or player damage because of you casting Fireball than I've had in any other game with anyone else.
It's because I don't have the IQ of a fucking houseplant.
Correct. You correct. You may say,
you got to consider, even a plant will adjust itself to get to the light. So there are some people that I would say are definitely not as bright as a house plant.
They're
I agree.
As bright as a fake house plant, a plastic plant.
I actually convinced my sister to water one for like 6 months. So what? Cure minor wounds. That's like what, a band-aid on a skinned knee?
Pretty much. It's a 0 level druid cleric spell. But all it does is cure 1 hit point. It is good for, oh, you're negative hit points and dying. I kill you 1 hit point. You're now stabilized and not dying. Oh, you have a bleeding effect that all it's going to take is 1 point of healing to stop it. Bam. It stopped. It is also one of those, oh, you're only down like 3 hit points. I'm not going to waste a spell that's going to heal more than 3 hit points. I'm just going to poke you a few times with this.
Oh, I played with a guy who plays and he, like, if he gets down any hit points at all, he wants to be cured instantly. And it's like, no, this guy over here has 3 hit points left. I'm going to him first. You'll live.
Yeah.
Paladin on the front line with 1 hit point. Heal the team! He's also poisoned, paralyzed, under negative effect, cursed. Meanwhile, the rogue sitting in the back line with a scrape on his knee. Heal me!
No, but it's like, I have a splinter.
There must be one in every party.
I haven't even actually taken damage, but I have a splinter. Pull it out and heal me. With the cleric looking between the paladin, who's might as well be dead already, and the fuck your splinter.
Paladin who should have been dead 3 turns ago, who is standing on a miracle right now.
Yeah. God, I actually have a more recent example of no, we're not going to heal this person all the way over here or stress that person, because the barbarian who's currently in the dragon's mouth being chewed on, who's fighting for his dear life, needs the healing, not the whiny fighter over there who needs to shut up because their character's already dead. It's like,
Yeah.
you can't get healing. You're dead. Stop whining about healing. You're negative like 50 hit points. Shut up. This person here.
There have been sessions when I've wanted to look at this person and go, if you don't shut up, I'm going to cast Call Lightning on you.
Yeah. Just one of my current players is literally pretty much doing that. Like, doesn't matter what happens to their character, they want to be in the background and like, oh my god, I took damage, I need healing. It's like, you took 2 points of damage.
Meanwhile, the barbarian and the paladin are standing there at 1 HP, bordering on consciousness, but you need healing.
It's worse. It's the combat rogue who also has levels in cleric, who's trying to help the barbarian with flanking attacks on a large creature that's making him go, I'm happy, I've already burned all my healing spells. Crap. Going, why are you complaining? You took 2 damage 5 minutes ago. I'm out of healing spells, and drink a potion if you're going to whine about it. No, I can't de-engage the monster who's going to look at me and then curb stomp me for even flinching like that to go over and heal you with spells I don't have.
Yet another thing that happens to the dismay of my 5e game is that I play a cleric, and a lot of times I'll be toward the front of the party. They're like, why are you doing that? It's like, because I've got the 2nd highest armor class. I don't have to hide behind everybody.
Yeah, when you look and go, I have better AC than the rest of you, that's why I'm up here. But you're the healer.
And not to mention, I have a couple spells.
Cleric. I'm gonna run up and pimp slap the bad guys. Just because I have healing spells doesn't mean I'm the party healer. Go heal yourself. Ungrateful.
I have the cure. Okay, it seems to me on all these spells like you had the cure, like this one, cure moderate wounds.
Yeah.
What is that, like a cut? Like a bad cut?
2 die 8 with an additional +1 per cast level to a maximum of... It is.
Cure moderate wounds is kind of like I sprained my ankle.
Yeah.
Save
If
me.
if Cure Light is the well, technically Cure Minor is the band-aid. If Cure Light is like the bandage, the Cure Moderate is like the better bandage. Because again, it's 2 die 8
Okay.
instead of 1 die 8. It's a max of plus 10 over a plus 5. And the mass version does all that same thing, but instead of being a max of 10, it's a max of 30.
My favorite spells coming up for the healing ones.
Cure
What would
Serious.
that be?
Cure severe wound. That's the one where your bone is sticking out of your leg as you're trying to run away, and you're like, "Please help."
To cure serious
You
wounds,
see this? This is out. I need it to be in.
it's 3 die
This
8
is not where it needs to be.
with a 3 die 8 with a plus 1 per caster level to a max of 15. And the mass version, the mass is 35. So, like I said, you have the 0 level minor, which is, again, it's like here's like some ointments. Then like you have the light where it's like, okay, that's decent, but we can do better. Then moderate, then serious, then the critical. Each one is good in their own right, primarily because for their level of a spell, they do pretty good. And the only time you have to worry about them sucking is if you're fighting opponents that are hitting a lot and have decent damage outputs. Because if the enemy's hitting a lot, doing decent damage, unless you have a bunch of mass spells prepped, you're pretty much going throughout the party constantly poking them, going, stop getting hit. So it's still a real good means to...
You see out there? There's lots of bad things there. Let's not go there.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why the mass one is probably a lot better than the base one, because if the entire party is taking damage every single turn, you can look at how much damage everyone's taking and engage what mass you're going to use. That's why Mass Light is a good starter for the masses, because if like 5 out of 6 party members are taking somewhere between, let's say, 4 to 10 damage a turn, Cure Light Mass can take care of that. You don't need to burn a bigger one. You just have to have multiple. It's good during combat, after combat, making sure everyone's healed up before you go into combat if you have the opportunity to actually prep. But they are good, reliable spells. And they are considered conjuration healing.
Okay,
So,
now I'm seeing the are we going to the next one?
Not yeah. We're going to finish one last thing and then go to the next one.
Okay.
No. One of the things that you can probably notice is several of them have over 20 for their bonus.
Yeah.
Which, if you're like, well, if max level, unless you're going epic, is 20, why is it going here? Well, it's because if you get certain things, you can get bonus to your cast level for healing spells. That's all the curing spells. If you get anything that augments conjuration spells, technically, unless it's one of those weirder effects, you can apply it to the cure spells because they are conjuration spells. So anything you have that augments your level for casting either of those two types of things, you can apply them to your cure wound spells. So you can get that higher caster level, because these are conjuration healing, which is really, really good. And if any of the viewers have any questions about any of the cure spells, please leave a comment. The next spell is a spell that, believe it or not, people somehow mess up. Curse Water. This is a necromancy evil spell. Emphasis on evil. First level cleric. Components are verbal, semantic, material. Casting time 1 minute. Range touch. Target flask of water touched. Duration instantaneous. Saving throw will negate object. Spell resistance, yes, object. Now, in just that
Good lord, it's
description,
expensive.
yeah, just in that description, is there anything that could possibly be make someone screw up the spell?
Oh yeah.
Well, do you want to take a guess on what a lot of people mess up on?
No.
What, do they not use enough silver or something?
No. It's a lot. It's the same problem with bless water.
They don't take water?
Well, one, there's people who try to cast it on non-water things, and two, it tells you just before we even get to the descriptor itself, just in the base block, it tells you how much water is affected.
So do they try to cast it on like a pond?
Yes. Barrels of water, not always having water in it.
Springs, things like that.
Springs, wells. There's one time a person tried to get in an argument about how he could curse the water of a river system when it's like, no, that's too much water. It's not going to work. Yes, it is. You're at the mouth of a river that's fed by the ocean. No. That's a lot of water.
I think after about 5 minutes of that argument, I would be like, okay, dude, let's drop this or you're going to have a water experience when I drown you in the toilet, okay?
No, because people are still dumb enough to argue, I won't drown you into water.
Yeah. The description. This spell imbues a flask, 1 pint of water with negative energy, turning it into unholy
It spells it
water.
out.
The what?
It literally spells out how much water it affects.
Right there. Unholy water damages good outsiders the way holy water damages undead and evil outsiders. Material components.
Okay.
5 pounds of powdered silver worth 25 gold pieces.
So it's expensive.
Just like how holy water costs the same amount to make holy water.
Okay, now, question about this. Now, how holy water and Catholic holy water works is that it doesn't dilute. Like, if you add holy water to it, it's all holy water now. Can you do this with that?
If we were using that same logical line for blessed water, if we were still using it, there's game mechanics versus how real life religions works, then if it works for holy water, then it works for unholy water. So if we were to use that, as long as the amount of water being added to it is not equal to or greater than, then you can turn 1 pint into like 1.5 pints and then slowly get it more and more and more if we're using that logic to eventually getting like a swimming pool or...
Yeah, but that would take so long as to be completely impractical.
Yeah, it would be impractical, but it also means that you start with a small enough body of water. As rain comes in, and it's not going to get diluted because each drop is technically kind of separately added to it. You can eventually get like a pond and then a small lake and then a large lake of unholy water. If we were to apply that same logic,
but it doesn't work in the game.
It doesn't work in game like that. So there is no infinite unholy water loophole. You can still only do it 1 pint at a time, and each pint costs you 25 gold pieces. Well, 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver. And like I said, it's not necessarily the powdered silver that gets people, even though a lot of people will try to argue, I have exhumed materials. It's like, that covers one up spells up to 1 gold piece. This isn't covered. It's more about they don't pay attention to the amount of water. Not because they didn't read the spell, it's because they don't think it should be limited to a single pint. They want to cast it on a lake, the well for the city they're in, the river that they have to go fight the monster in. Then there's the mistake of, just like how holy water damages evil outsiders and undead, unholy water only negatively affects good aligned outsiders. So you can splash holy water on a person, like a paladin, and they're just going to stare at you funny because you just wasted your unholy water. If they were a celestial or a half celestial, then yeah, it would do some damage to them. But they have to be a good aligned outsider, which also means if a evil outsider or a non-good outsider pops up, they're not going to care. So,
Right.
so unlike holy water that a lot of people are like, we're using on demons, devils, and undead, this spell has gotten a lot more people to get pissed off because they assume that it's going to be far more effective because they're cursing the water. The other problem a lot of people have is they assume because there's curse in the word of the spell, they're applying a curse to the water, and whoever drinks and or interacts with the water is going to get that curse, despite the fact that that's not how the spell works. And it gets frustrating because it's a mixture of they didn't read the spell, or they're just flat out ignoring it, or they just flat out want it to work differently than how it's supposed to work.
Well, it's supposed to work this way, god damn it. You should fucking know better, and you would if you were good at this. God. Fucking trash panda. You're shit at this.
You shit at this game. Get better. Stop
Get
playing.
good, scrub.
Yeah. But if any of you viewing this has any sort of questions about Curse Water, please leave a comment. The next spell, I've had to look at people and laugh at, because get good, scrub, is Dancing Lights. This is one of my favorite low-level spells. Like, hands down, it is one of my favorite low-level spells. This is an evocation light spell. It is a 0-level bard, 0-level sorcerer wizard. Components: verbal semantic. Casting time: 1 standard action. Range: medium. Effect: up to 4 lights, all within all within a 10-foot radius area. Duration: 1 minute. Saving throw: none. Spell resistance: none. Description: depending on the version selected, you create up to 4 lights that resemble lanterns or torches, and cast that amount of light. So they produce a light equal to either the lantern or the torch, or up to 4 glowing spheres of light which look like will-o-wisps, or 1 faintly glowing, vaguely humanoid shape. The dancing lights must stay within 10-foot radius area in relation to each other. But otherwise move as you desire. No concentration required. Forward or back, up or down, straight or turning corners, or the like. The light can move up to 100 feet per round. A light winks out of distance between you and its exceeded that. Well, yeah. Beings have existence between you and it's exceeded the spell's range. So if it goes too far away, it just goes away. So it kind of has to be within inside the medium range limit of the spell, which the higher level you get, the farther away it can be. Dancing lights can be made permanent with the permanency spell. There's multiple reasons why I like this spell. Especially because it's a 0 level spell. It doesn't cost you anything to actually do it. So no money being spent. You can have up to 4 lanterns following the party, 4 torches, or 4 whiffs, or 1 vaguely humanoid, faintly glowing shape with the party. It can move relatively quickly, which 100 feet per turn, as long as you make sure it stays within the range limit of you don't have to worry about that. With the only thing anyone can consider a downside would be the minute it lasts. That's the only thing that people may have a problem with. But it's also a 0 level spell, which should tell you a lot about the spell, because again, it's 0 level. It has its limitations. But for a spell with limitations, it's medium range, which is 100 feet plus 10 feet per caster level. And you can provide light for the entire party, or you can have it be somewhat far away from the party, so the party can be hiding in darkness using dark vision to move through an area, while anything looking for the party is going to be at minimum 110 feet away, trying to get close enough to the light source to verify that. And because of where you can put it and how far away it can be, unless your enemy knows exactly your capabilities, all they're going to know is at minimum you're somewhere within 110 feet of the lights. But that could be anywhere. You could be 110 feet ahead of it, behind it, to the side, at an angle, flying above it. So you can literally use it as a distraction and a decoy. Or just for a brief moment, letting the party see. Because again, it only lasts a minute. So it's a very good 0 level spell. Because there's a lot of 0 level spells out there that aren't that good. They're just kind of eh. This is good. Especially because for a minute you can make it look like will-o-wisps are following you, and if you're in the right environment, certain things are immediately going to look and go, no, because a will-o-wisp is something you don't want to mess with. So having a spell that mimics them in appearance is a grand thing. But I still love this spell. Now, if you have any questions for those who are watching about dancing lights, please leave a comment. The next spell is a spell that has almost started fistfights. I'm not kidding. Darkness. This is an... that got a giggle out of someone. This is an evocation darkness spell. 2nd level bard, cleric, sorcerer, and wizard. Components: verbal, material / divine focus. Casting time, standard action. Range, touch. Target, object, touch. Duration, 10 minutes at caster level. Saving throw, none. Spell resistance, none. Now, before I get into the description, does any of my co-hosts want to take a guess to why the spell Darkness has almost cost fistfights?
Because it is not what people think it is. It does not envelop in total darkness. It only envelops shadows.
Right. It's not Peruvian darkness powder from Harry Potter.
Oh, it gets worse. The description. This spell causes an object to radiate shadowy illumination out to 100. Almost made it, boom. Illumination out to 20-foot radius. All creatures in this area gain concealment, which is a 20% mischance. Even creatures that normally can see in such conditions, such as with dark vision or low light vision, have the mischance in the area shrouded with magical darkness. Normal lights, torches, candles, lanterns, and so forth are incapable of brightening the area as the light spell of lower level, such as light or dancing lights. Higher level light spells, such as daylight, are not affected by darkness. If darkness is cast on a small object that is then placed inside or under a light-proof covering, the spell effect is blocked until the covering is removed. Darkness counters and dispels any light spell of equal or lower level. Arcane components: a bit of bat fur and either a drop of pitch or a piece of coal. Now, the reason this is almost started fist fights,
very cheap for what it is.
Yeah, Extreme Materials covers this spell. The reason this spell has made people want to punch other people, is mixed between not understanding what shadowy illumination is, not reading the spell, and then looking at the person who casts it and goes, "Thank you. Now the entire group of enemies we're in melee combat with now has a 20% mischance." Because yes, you just did the fireball equivalent of the shadow illumination equivalent of fireball, but it lasts 10 minutes to cast a level on an object. So, thank you. Because now the bad guys were trying to fight.
So basically, it's just a fuck you. That's why.
Yeah. It's good to counteract dark vision and low light vision, especially if it's already dark out, because you're making it darker. You get the 20% mischance, so you can technically give yourself cover, because
this is why you have a blind fighter in your party,
or someone with the blind fight feat. That's
you carry the monk that's blinded.
Yeah.
Well, no, if the blind person is in an area and they cast the darkness, everybody who's having trouble seeing, okay, well, they're not going to be able to, they're going to flail about, but someone who is blind, it will have no effect on, because vision is nothing to them, because they don't have it.
They're already suffering.
It's like, a fish right about their feet.
The monk that's perpetually blind, but out of combat is an absolute ditz, but in combat turns into a god.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the guy in
precariously walks
The Force
into
Awakens.
Trees. Regularly just walks into trees, but when they get into combat, all of a sudden it's like,
No, not Force Awakens. The whatever episode 8 was. No, it wasn't that. It was the thing about. It was the one about, like, the girl her name was like Starshine or something like that, and it was Jyn Erso, and they have to go steal the plans to the Death Star.
That was
Rogue One.
Oh, Rogue One.
He used the Force to see.
Yeah.
So he wasn't blind. He was just a dick. But like I said, there's been plenty of people who had cast this spell.
Oh, Jacob puts things sometimes
on something in combat, which dampers everything. Because it's never just like, oh, I'm going to cast it on a stick and throw it so the party can flee and run. No, it's like, hey, since I'm right there within touching distance of the fighter's sword, I'm going to touch his sword, so now it produces darkness. It's like, what? Yeah, now you're safe from the enemy because they can't see. It's like, we all have a 20% miss chance, including them. So I'm just gonna put my sword away. Oh, it's sheathed. So you're wasting my spell? No, I'm saving the party because now we don't have a missed chance to hitting the enemy. Not to mention because it shrouds the area in shadow illumination, so you can't really particularly see particular things. And because people like to cast it inconveniently, the rogue has problems disarming the trap if there's shadow illumination obscuring the trap. Because he can't actually properly see the trap to disarm it. The party who are trying to do balance checks not to fall off a ledge. It's kind of hard to see where you're putting your foot placement if everything's now darker. So when I say people have literally fell to their deaths because they couldn't see where their character's properly going, because it's already dark, they're already having problems seeing, but because there's some monster that can see in the dark doing range attacks at the party, don't worry guys, my staff now has darkness. We get the 25% miss chance. It's like, motherfucker, we already couldn't see. Now you're just canceling out our abilities to see because our torches aren't working now. Oh, did that guy who's already having problems passing his checks just fall down because he doesn't know where to put his frickin' feet? Thank you. So yes, this spell has literally started legit fights. Because people don't know when to cast frickin' spells. There's also the fact that because
Just
it still
everybody
hinders.
read your spells.
Yeah. Well, in this case, it's not necessarily reading the spell; it's knowing when to cast it. And because this particular spell still hinders and hinders dark vision, people are like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna make it extra darky, so this creature that has dark vision has problems seeing us." Creature that was going to just walk on by because everyone's passing their hide checks, stops and just looks at an area it can't see properly in. Now it knows there's something happening there. Because why can't it see in that darkness? Oh, there's a darkness spell in effect, stopping me from seeing. So now the creature's going to rely on its other senses and start investigating the area. Because I hate you. It's a situational spell that I've seen used more than once to screw over the party simply because the caster just didn't think. But that being said, if anyone seeing this has any questions about darkness, please leave a comment. And hey, look, the next spell, Dark Vision. This is a transmutation, 3rd level ranger, 2nd level sorcerer wizard spell. Components are verbal, semantic, material. Casting time 1, standard action. Range, touch. Target, creature touched. Duration, 1 hour a level. Saving throw, will negates, harmless. Saving throw, none. So it has 2 things for saving throw. Spell resistance, yes, harmless. Description. The subject gains the ability to see 60 feet in even total darkness. Dark vision is black and white only, but otherwise like normal sight. Dark vision does not grant one the ability to see in magical darkness. Dark vision can be made permanent with a permanency spell. Material components: either a pinch of dried carrot or an agate. Agates. So yes, dark vision has the funny thing of dried carrot. You know why that's funny, right?
Yep.
Sometimes material components are
'Cause-
jokes.
And for anyone too young to realize, during World War II, they didn't want the masses to know that they had radar technology, and that is how they were kicking ass in the sky fights. So they told everybody that they made the pilots eat a lot of carrots to improve their night vision because the carrots were rich in vitamin A. So that's where that comes from. Does it really help your vision? Probably not, but that's where that comes from.
It is medically shown that it does not help enough to be noticeable.
Yeah.
There are benefits to it, but obviously they're just not great benefits to it.
Yeah, so the fact that this is one of the spells that has a joke written into it is hilarious. But this is still a really good spell because it means there is no we need light sources or hey guys, we should all play a race that has dark vision, because you just have a high enough level ranger or a moderately leveled wizard or sorcerer, and they can get access to the spell. And the fact that it lasts hours makes this spell worth it. Because again, an hour per caster level is a lot. Because at low level, an hour doesn't really sound like a munch. But once you get to like level 8, that's an entire 8-hour travel period. You're traveling with dark vision. You get to level 18. Well, that's pretty much an entire day. You cast it before you go to bed.
Yeah.
You go to bed and do the rest. So if you wake up in the middle of the night to something, well, you have it already in effect on you. So it's a good, reliable spell. And just like the darkness spell states, dark vision does not let you see in magical darkness. So magical darkness does not get countered by it. Even normal dark vision does not let you see clearly in magical darkness. So if you have the dark vision ability from a race or under the spell, and there's an area of darkness you can't actually see into, it's not natural, it's supernatural. So there's something producing that effect, so you know that either something's hiding in there, or just to stay away from that area because, well, there's something doing darkness there. But otherwise, this is still a reliable spell, mainly because it lasts so long. But for those viewing, if you have any questions or concerns about dark vision, please leave a message. The next spell is a spell that has made lots of people immediately think it's good for vampires and undead. Which, if you go by the name, you'll assume that. But once we get in the description, we'll be able to uncover why it doesn't do exactly what people think it does. Daylight. This is a evocation light spell. It's a 3rd level bard, cleric, druid, paladin, sorcerer, and wizard. So pretty much all the casters get it as a 3rd level spell. Components are verbal semantic. Casting times, 1 standard action. Range, touch. Target, object touched. Duration, 10 minutes a level. Saving throw, none. Spell resistance, none. The last 2 things, the saving throw and spell resistance, should tell you that it doesn't work the way a lot of people think it does. Now, before I get into the description, do either of you two want to take a guess to why people think that this spell works wonders on undead?
Because sunlight.
Yeah, they think it's just says daylight. It doesn't say sunlight.
Yeah.
Right.
The description. The object touch shines light as bright as full daylight in a 60-foot radius and dim light for an additional 60 feet beyond that. So it affects a huge area. Creatures that take penalties in bright light also take them while within the radius of magical light. What that means is when it says penalties for bright light, it does not mean vampires take fire damage for being in sunlight. It's for light blindness, light sensitivity, not weakness to sunlight. Despite the name, this spell does not, is not the equivalent of daylight for the purpose of creatures that are damaged or destroyed by bright light, such as vampires. That section has caused me so much agony because, well, dumb people. If daylight is cast on a small object that is then placed inside or under a lightproof covering, the spell effect is blocked until the covering is removed. Just like how darkness, if you cover it up, you stop it from projecting the shadow illumination. This, you can cover it. Daylight brought into an area of magical darkness or vice versa is temporarily negated, so that the otherwise prevailing light conditions exist in the overlapping areas of effect. Daylight counters and dispels any darkness spell of equal or lower level, such as darkness itself. Now, just as we went over the descriptor, my English is failing me right now. Just as we just went under in the description, the spell doesn't actually damage or destroy anything. So if you have light sensitivity or light blindness, yeah, you have problems seeing. But it doesn't damage or destroy anything. The amount of people who go solely off the name
and don't read their spells.
Yeah. Just go, oh, we're fighting vampires? I cast daylight on my staff. Okay, everything's well illuminated. Well, they're vampires. They should be destroyed or at least weakened. It's like, well, they're suffering from light blindness for the moment, but that's it. Well, no, it's daylight. I'm producing solar rays. Yes, a person actually said that. It's like, no. Yes. No. There's
because you need to read your spell.
It's like, I'm going to He-Man pimp slap you. So this spell has has literally just made me.
Now I have to draw that
face palm because like. So the sentence that it says that is not the equivalent of daylight for the purpose of creatures that are damaged or destroyed by bright light, such as vampires. That there has been ignored by so many people, or people that don't fully read.
It's stated right there.
They'll go after the radius, not the true total effect, and it is just hilarious the amount of people it is. There's like I've run across this people with even the people who like out loud read the entire descriptor. And then, like a half hour later, in the campaign, they cast it and get pissed off that vampires or other such things aren't being destroyed or killed by the light. It's like, dude, didn't you read that spell out loud to everyone today? And even made a comment that it's not gonna work against the undead we're supposed to go fight. Yeah, then why are you pissed off that it's not working against them? It's like. So it's so part of the problem is just people failing to comprehend what words mean, and it's like, the fuck. Okay, and I'm having connection problems.
Okay. Well, I think it'd be a good time to just end it here because we just ended the description daylight, and
Well, yeah,
it
we
is
are
about that
at
time.
the end point. So that is the last boat we're going to cover today, daylight. So if you guys, anyone watching, has any comments about daylight, or any funny stories about how you got to face palm and look at someone stupid for trying to counter vampires with it, please leave a comment below. And we will catch you next time for more out of state DMing.